I'm making this new thought bubble video because I was watching one of my old unpopular K-pop opinions video from 2021, I think, where I talked about this, but in a shorter, less mad way, and also because I don't see anyone talking about it. As a Christian myself, more specifically a Catholic, I hate how there's some, not a lot, but some idols of seen wear crosses sacred to Catholics, and others who also find crosses sacred, as if the cross was an aesthetic or a piece of jewelry. And someone did mention on Discord, with a picture, where I talked about this, that there are different types of crosses and they don't necessarily have something to do with the Catholic Church or a church in general, and yes, I agree that there are different crosses and some could be non-religious type of crosses not relating to any church in general, but for the crosses that I've seen idols wear so far, I've seen 3 idols wear them, the crosses look more like the crosses in Catholicism, because they're similar in shape and form. For example, Lisa in Boombias MV, a Bigbang member in Blues MV, and Haeyeon from Solia in Dreams MV. IDK if I've searched up hard enough, but I've literally seen no K-tuber talk about crosses being disrespectful to wear as an aesthetic or something. Be in normal opinion-based videos or in unpopular K-pop opinions videos. K-tubers talk about idols and them saying the N-word, disrespecting Desi people and talk about idols and them doing problematic things and such, but why have I not seen anyone bring up idols wearing crosses in MVs? And I believe that idols wearing crosses probably got it from their stylist to wear, but I feel like idols should know better than not to wear it. IDK if that Big Bang member who wore the cross in blue is Catholic, and if Haeyeon from Solia is Catholic, but Lisa is not a Christian or Catholic for that matter, and knowing an idol wearing a cross and not being Catholic, is super disrespectful because they're wearing it for aesthetic purposes and not in a respectful way that isn't bad, which even for Catholics, I think these crosses are disrespectful to wear, because they look more aesthetic based than religious based. These stylists or whoever give idols crosses as accessories to wear in MVs are also ones to blame, because they're using a religious symbol as a piece of jewelry, and sure there are religious jewelry that I've seen, but it's made properly, and they're not aesthetic or anything, like the ones I've seen K-pop idols wear. I feel like more people should call out K-pop idols and stylists or whoever give idols to wear crosses out, because it needs to be talked about more and not brushed aside. In Catholicism, we believe the cross is sacred, because Jesus, who we believe is the Son of God, died upon the cross for our sins, and suffered for our faults. That's the main reason why we have Lent, we have Holy Thursday, Jesus' Last Supper. Good Friday, Jesus' day of crucifixion, which is his day of death, and Easter Sunday, a joyous day where Jesus raises from the dead, and we celebrate his resurrection. People need to understand that crosses are sacred, and should talk about this more, because I've seen a lot of K-tubers talk about certain serious issues, like minors in K-pop, racism, CA etc., which is good, but I think that K-pop idols wearing religious items as an aesthetic should also be given the same attention, and K-pop idols' stylists should be aware of their mistakes, and their disrespectfulness. IDK how K-pop stans missed this, because if you take Boombaya for example, it has 1.4 billion views, and yet not a single blink noticed Lisa's huge earrings that are crosses. Like the first scene of the MV where they're on bikes, and have the intro, 7 seconds in Lisa's short scene comes on, and her big cross earrings are exposed clear as day, and then 2 or 3 seconds later it's exposed again, and yet nobody notices it. IDK if I'm going crazy or something, but people need to start bringing up topics on idols wearing crosses in MVs, because I want more K-tubers and K-pop stans talking about it, because it's disrespectful to me as a Catholic, and others who view the cross as sacred. In conclusion, I don't think idols should wear crosses as if it were fashion items. It's sacred to anyone who view it as sacred. Also the crosses the idols seem to wear, from what I've seen, as I said before, look very similar to crosses in Catholicism. Maybe I'm overthinking, and maybe these aren't crosses, but when I first saw Lisa's earrings, then Haeyeon's earrings and even the Big Bang members' cross necklace thing, I immediately thought of Catholic crosses, because as I said, I'm a Catholic, and I associated their cross accessory items to Catholic crosses, because they're very similar. If I didn't see the similarity, I wouldn't have made an opinion about it in an unpopular K-pop opinions video, or made this new thought bubble video centered around this topic. I believe that these idols are wearing crosses, and it's disrespectful and idols should know better. Also I wish more people talked about idols wearing crosses, because it needs to be talked about more, because of how sacred they are. I've explained it in the previous part of this video. Stylists or whoever give idols these accessories, should see what they're giving them. I believe that it wasn't necessary for any of these three idols to be wearing crosses for their MVs, because they're religious crosses and don't even relate to the song or MV. I hope that in the future, idols become aware of not wearing crosses again as fashion or an aesthetic, and this should be talked about more amongst K-pop stans and K-tubers.